And I'm like, okay, settle down. I will go. I will go. It's fine. Like, it's not that big a deal, so it was not publicized. There was like, I was like, okay, this isn't horrible. There was like nobody there.
Wow.
And I mean, that's not a diss. The place was like, and so Lisa was like early, like, I'm like, okay, this is going to be great. We're going to be out of here in like 10 minutes. So Lisa's one of those people, like I was saying before, it started like, when I do my live show, we're going to play a game, loves me, hates me, or doesn't know I'm alive. We're going to play that game live when I do my show on September 13th with Kim D. Buy tickets at City Winery. And Lisa, I would have put in the doesn't know I'm alive category, but now listen, I explained, because there was nobody there. For all the times I've run into LVP, I think I've talked to LVP for about 20 minutes at this thing, one-on-one. And then I talked to Ken for like an hour. He wouldn't shut up. Love you, Ken. But God. So I explained what I do for a living. And like, listen, at one point when she really got it, because I said, like that podcast, well, like last week, remember Sheree Zampino told Kyle to sit down? Oh, the light bulb went off for Lisa. She's like, oh, that's you. So then when she got this, she was like, oh my God. Like everything we just talked about isn't going to be on your podcast. Because I mean, we were talking about like
a lot about the show and about her and about everyone.
And then like my friend I was with was like videoing us. I didn't know what was going. I was like, why are you video? And then Lisa was like, what is this? Like, I'm like, no, like this friend doesn't understand how any of this works, and podcasts and social, like this friend of mine is not on social media at all. I'm like, no, this isn't like Lisa thought my friend was videoing us to like me to say like, hey, TMZ, look what Lisa said about Kyle. And I'm like, listen, I don't do dirty. You have nothing to worry about. I mean, then I was like, Lala loves me. We have a great relationship. She's been on twice, and it's like Lisa was like I was like, do you want me to like book you right now? Like, where do you want this? It didn't look. I mean, then I said to my team here, like, get off your asses. I'm paying you every fucking month. Here's all the information. This is how you get like make this happen with Lisa. I don't know if it's going to happen, but what else can I, listen, I mean, of course,
I love it.
Do you think she had anything good to say about, I'm not going to read it, but like, of course, she doesn't really have anything good to say about the women
the usual suspects there. Yes. Yeah.
She said, it's going to be, I mean, what is she going to say? She's like, it's going to be a great season of VPR. I said, I think it's the best show on Bravo. I mean, what am I supposed to say? And, look. And
well, you believe that. You say that when you're not in front of her. You've always said that.
In its heyday, I truly think that was the best show on Bravo. I do. In its heyday. Yeah. It's gone way off course the past two seasons. The season where we had all the new people, Brett and Charlie and all them. And then last season, I'm hoping and praying. I don't think it really has to do with Stassi and Jax, or I just hope that it gets back on track. She said, look, they're all having a hard time. I mean, Lala's going through this. I mean, no matter how strong you are, Katie and Tom are getting divorced. She's like, you're going to see a lot. And she's like, we're only like into the episode 6 with filming. And so nothing really, there's no real teasers, but it was a whole hanging out. And Ken was like, why are you only buying the rosé? You need to try the red. And I mean, I was like, do you like these things, Ken? Like, I mean, it was a whole, I was like, I've met Ken I've never talked to Ken this much. I mean, I think he thought my friend was very pretty. We'll leave it at that.
Oh, okay. Well,
LVP in the Hamptons, babe.
LVP in the Hamptons. Oh my God, what a great day.
You know what? Love her or hate her. Sorry. It's fucking Elf. I said, look, it's like the Mean Girls Club now on the show. And this. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe was that like a very was that a very uneventful story, Sarah, about my LVP?
No, it's amazing, and I feel like I can see it coming. Like I could see her. I would imagine you are on her radar, and she would do your show 100%. Yes, and she has to do it. I mean, she doesn't have to, but Vanderpump Rules is coming back. They need promotion. She needs to be out there. I feel like it's in your future. I see it.
Let's make that one happen now. Right. There is a listener who keeps, I don't know, I am so sorry to this listener, but this listener keeps sending me, we have to investigate this more. I don't want to put this out to this world, but this listener keeps texting me that there was a podcast. We don't mention this podcast's name. You know, that's what they deserve. But there was a podcast where it came up and one of the housewives kind of let slip that it seemed like Gary, Jill's boyfriend, went on some dates with Dorinda before. I don't think there's any cheating or anything like that. It was more just like, look, New York is really small. And this person thinks that it was slipped that Gary, Jill's boyfriend, went on at least a date with Dorinda prior to getting to Jill.
Well, is this that shocking for us? I mean,
no.
I feel like they all trade people, right? I mean, it was like, oh my God. I mean, Harry Dubin, right? They'd all done Harry Dubin, you know, before. I feel like it's not that shocking. You know what I mean? And poor, you know, Luann with Tom, and Tom had been all over New York City with every socialite woman, you know, I mean, does this surprise you? Like, I think this is probably true. Don't you think?
Yeah, it's not that shocking. I mean, yeah, it's not that shocking to me either. And I mean, also, do we even care? But I love that this listener is onto something I'd like to listen. If anyone knows more information, there you go. Jill, I know you're going to call. This is what you do. I'm expecting a call from Jill Zara, and she's going to be mad that I'm putting something bad on Gary's name, but I will never not do my job, Jill. Love you. Nothing personal. You know who's having a lot of drama is Miss Marlo Hampton and her peach.
Oh, Marlo. Of course, the robbery. We already talked about that.
She's getting a lot of like, look, I see it a little bit. People are like, she is throwing everything in the kitchen sink in there. You know, you're fighting with, you know, Kenya. That's not that shocking. You kick the nephews out, you know, because you're having a bad week. You know, now you're fighting with your best friend, Candy. I had Candy on. I had Marlo on. I don't know. Is Marlo doing too much or do we love it? I mean, I'd love to hear from people. You know what I mean? Like, she's got the peach and she ain't letting that peach go. And look, so look, is she carrying the season and giving us something, or is it fabricated and too much?
Oh, God, that's a great question. I don't think she's doing too much. Because I think Marlo's always been messy. She's just always had people around her that were even messier. But, you know, RHOA for me is like, you know, I watch it sometimes. I skip an episode. I don't feel like I've missed anything. You know, I think the franchise is fine. I don't think it's in trouble. But I see what you're saying. It's like a little bit like Marlo doesn't have any real like alliances. You know what I'm saying? At this point, she does seem to be going after everyone. You know, what are your thoughts? I'm like indifferent. I love Marlo. She's going to keep her peach for a while. To me, it's like Marlo shines when there's also like other drama, like another dramatic cast around her. You know what I mean?
I do. I mean, look, I've also had Sheree on this season. So
I love Sheree. Sheree's bringing it.
Sheree's bringing it. Listen, everyone, you know, loves to jump all over me when I talk about negative ratings. There's so many low ratings. RHOA has pulled itself up. It is now over 1 million. They're getting their highest. Yeah, they're getting their highest views. It's like, you know, so it's not what Jersey was or what Beverly, but it's not what it was, but they're over 1 million and they have their highest views of the season. So something is turning around as we head into the finale. I don't think it's in trouble either. You know, I talk all the time about the fact that I think it's time for Dorit to go. I think she is going to go. Maybe Crystal and Diana. I really feel, and I got into this with Carlos King when he was on my show, the producer, you know, the original producer of RHOA with Nene. I feel, I don't know if this is going to happen, but I feel you keep Sheree, you keep Candy. I know, guys, everyone's going to roll their eyes. You keep Candy, you keep Sheree, you keep Marlo, and you keep Kenya. I say, you know, we're doing so many different things. Like the OC is kind of going back to mostly OGs. I say we get rid of Drew and after this season 2. And I say, Sanya, I'm glad you won the medals. It's time to get rid of Drew. And I would say bring back like Claudia Jordan